Hey guys, I'm Jake Palat, and today I'm going to walk you through how to do a toe side front roll on a wakeboard. So toe side front roll was the first flip that I learned on a board, and to me I think it's one of the easiest and it's a great place to start if you're looking to get into flipping on a board. Prerequisites for the toe side front roll would be a strong toe side wake jump, keeping both hands on the handle. That's really important because you don't want your line tension to change when you're in the air. You want to be able to keep that handle locked in, two hands on, and wake to wake jump every time so that you have consistency before you start adding a flip into it. Additionally, it's pretty helpful to have done front flips in another setting before, whether it's on a trampoline, jumping off a boat, whatever it is. Getting comfortable with that rotation before you're strapped into a board cruising on the lake can be really helpful. All right, so how do you approach starting to do it? If this is your first flip on a wakeboard, then this might be a pretty intimidating part to be at. If it's not your first flip, then you know just going out and trying it is the only way to get your feet wet. Number one is starting slow. Start nice and slow, one wake jump, give yourself the center of the wake to land in, and the slower you go, the less impact you're gonna get. And don't be afraid to just try one and land upside down, land on your butt. It's all gonna be okay, especially when you're at a slower speed. It takes away a lot of that impact, but there's really no way around just going ahead and trying it. So find your speed that you can slow the boat down to, that keeps a pretty clean wake, gives you enough space to edge in and land in the middle, but still gives you enough pop off of the wake to do what we're trying to do. For me, that speed is usually between 18 and 20 miles an hour with a 70-foot rope. So to start, we want to have consistency with our repetition. So first, you want to do some strong toe side wake jumps, just one wake. Since we're practicing the flip one wake, we'll go in, cut out maybe about 10 feet from the wake, stay really strong, standing tall through the wake on those one wake jumps. Once you have a few of those under your belt and it's feeling consistent and strong, it's time to just go ahead and go for it. So you want to take the same exact approach that you were taking on your practice jumps. So you're cutting out about 10 feet from the wake, coming in, standing really tall as you hit the wake, and to initiate the flip, you want to think about the energy from your board going up through your hips and taking your hips over your head. A lot of people think that when you're throwing a front flip or a front roll on a wakeboard, you're going to want to throw your chest down to initiate the momentum going forward. Really though, what you're trying to do is take the energy that your board gets from the wake, transfer it into your hips, and let your hips get sent up and over your head. So rather than thinking about diving into a flip, think about rising into the flip and really bringing those hips up and over, straight over. On the takeoff, it's really important to maintain your edge angle and stand tall. This is going to make sure that you get the snap off of the wake to initiate that flip. If you're backing off or diving, then you're not going to get any snap off the wake and you're probably going to come up short on the flip. So big tips at the start is maintain your edge angle and think about rising into the flip and setting your hips over your head rather than diving. It's going to take some repetition of this one wake toe side front roll to get it dialed in and feeling strong enough to take it wake to wake, but that is the next step, and to me that's where it gets a lot easier and a lot more fun. So when you're ready to take it wake to wake, speed up to your normal speed and length that you ride at, and warm up with the same thing that we started with on the one wake jumps, is just straight airs. So do a few toe side straight airs, trying to maintain line tension in your shoulders, standing tall, and really maintaining that edge and stillness through the wake, in the air, and on landings, continuing your momentum out when you land. Once you feel good about being able to recreate that consistently, it's time to just go for it. You've already done it one wake, your toe side jumps are dialed wake to wake. It's time to just put the two together. And to me, it gets easier because we're going faster. It's giving you a little more snap off of the wake, which just helps that flip come around with less effort. And then ideally, you're landing on your downslope, so it's less impact and you can just continue on your way after landing. So the big thing here is start identical to how you would treat a toe side wake jump. Cut out to the same width away from the boat. Start your edge nice and slow, and really think about progressively building it all the way through the wake. The more you build your edge going up the wake, the more snap you're gonna get into the flip, and it's gonna come around easier. So to break it down from start to finish, cutting out to the same width that you would start a normal toe side wake jump, start your edge nice and slow, and build it all the way through the wake. The more progressive that edge is into the wake and through the wake, the more snap you're gonna get into the flip. On the takeoff, find a spot in the horizon that you're watching, take that energy from the wake into your hips and send it up and over. As you're coming out of the flip, try to spot the horizon again and lock into it. If you're looking forward or looking down at the water, chances are you're gonna come up a little bit short on the rotation. So really try to lock into that horizon. As you land with soft knees and try to continue out in the direction that you started off in across the lake. The two most common things that I see on this trick is underflipping, generally caused by one of two things. One is letting go with your back arm on the takeoff. So with the handle coming into the wake, a lot of times when people hit the wake, they instinctively let go with their back arm. What this does is it gives everything up to the boat and immediately slows down the rotation of your flip and disconnects your shoulders, your hips, everything gets out of whack, which takes away from your height and your rotation in the flip. So it's really important that you're leaning into your back shoulder the whole way through the wake and keeping that handle nice and still with both hands on as you're learning the toe side front roll. The next most common issue that I see with front rolls is either opening up too early or looking at the boat as you're finishing. These two things will set you over your heels every time on landings, making it really hard to stick it, giving you the classic butt check or drag out of a front roll that we've probably all seen many, many times. To counter this, make sure that your eyes are looking for the horizon out in front of you and that you stay committed to the flip all the way through. The ideal toe side front roll is really just over a full 360 rotation. So think about it as just slightly overcooking the flip so that as you land, you're landing on your toes and continuing that momentum outwards away from the boat. If you're thinking of trying to stomp it and that's the end of the trick, more than likely you're gonna end up landing over your heels and it's really hard to have a clean landing trying to stick it like that. So continuing your momentum out and away from the boat is the key to a clean, smooth landing on this trick. Once you got the toe side front roll dialed, now's the time where it gets really fun. You can add grabs, take it to scarecrow, and this opens up a whole world of opportunities with tricks in wakeboarding. This is one of the fundamental flips and one of the early ones that I would recommend starting with if you're looking to go upside down on a board. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure you subscribe to follow along for more. Thanks for watching.